What's up, everybody? This is the final update for Merchants of Me. This is Gabriel filling in for my co-lead, Cassidy, and it is the Week 18 update, and today is March 19th, 2023, release day. Let's dive in. So we had a total weekly commits of 17 and lifetime commits of 233. This week we had 4 contributors. That brings us to a lifetime contributors of 9 plus 4 playtesters. Thank you for playtesting. And as I said before, this is the final week. We are finally here on release day. Let's dive in. So Chris L. helped with quite a few fixes. The setting menu works in the pause screen now. Turned off the background music during endgame cutscenes, and now the background music does not restart when starting a new game. Changed first pass caching for valid player moves, and then also fixed the ability to use a proper associative array. Cassidy also came in with quite a few bug fixes, clarity and objectives, changing from collect to deliver, fixing duplicated text on the second objective, changing the diamonds multiplier variable name for spelling and the objective display count, or objective 1 display count, and fixing paths to game win and lose conditions. McFunkyPants was prototyping highlight all movable tiles at turn start without debug log on, no visuals yet. And this week for me was quite a few bug fixes. I started the week off by just adding a placeholder credits button to the main menu just to make room for it. And then went on to being able to deliver multiple of the same resources to the castle. Before, you would have to do one by one on each turn. Now, if you have multiple of the objective resources when you go to the castle, it takes it all out of your inventory. I fixed the bug where landing on a tile on your last action point doesn't remove that item. Now it does. Implemented the credits in the main menu. Fixed the buying incense. A lot of these fixes were towards the buying and selling in the cities. So that should be smoother now with less crashes and bugs. You can deliver multiple resources at the castle for the secondary objective, so it's a similar bug to the one that I fixed earlier in the week. This one is just more for the secondary objectives. And then fix some additional bugs around selling and buying in cities, and then earlier today just did a fix for the diamond purchasing. It's making sure the variable names all lined up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the final game. I do have sound turned off here, and that's just because of how my setup is, so apologies, you won't be hearing the sound effects, but they are in the game, and if you play it on the itch page once it's uploaded, you'll be able to hear the game in all its wonderful glory. So here is the main menu, the final main menu. We'll take a look at the credits. I just wanted to give a special shout out to Cassidy for being such a great co-lead. If you ever have the opportunity to co-lead a project with Cassidy, I highly, highly recommend it. It was a wonderful experience. So thank you so much for everything that you put into this project and for all the weekly updates. Of course, I also worked on the project a little bit. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Krister. Thank you, Patrick. And then everyone that tested and gave feedback. Really, really appreciate it. This has been such a fun project. And you all deserve a round of applause for releasing another home team game. So congratulations, everyone. I hope you had as much fun with this project as I did. I'm going to go ahead and go on the easy setting just to be able to show off a little bit of some of the fixes. So the objectives are all down here. They should all be working. Everything in the inventory should now be working. You can see that in the settings menu we have the how to play, and then we can access the audio, and we can't change the difficulty now in the settings menu, so that's something that you have to do up front. So if we go to the cities, one of the things that used to crash the game is being able to sell and buy at the same time, but now you can buy wheat and sell it at the same time. Obviously you take a loss because of the currency exchange and that kind of stuff, but all of these should now be working. Oh, don't have enough money to buy that, and if we sell it, it should all work. So yeah, won't take you through the entire game. That would take too long, but earlier this, or actually yesterday, did some thorough playtesting, so you can get the win condition and get to the end screen if you win the game, and then obviously we have a lose condition, so if you lose the game, you will be taken to the loss screen. The highlighting that Krister did earlier, or I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, has been so nice. This just gives it a nice little polished touch. Really am happy with how the game turned out. So again, thank you so much for contributing. This was a lot of fun. So let's go to the Trello. So we got most everything done. I am going to create a post-release column for some of the things that we weren't quite able to finish and would be a nice extra touch for polish post-release. But the game is stable. There aren't any or too many blocker bugs that I'm aware of. So the game is playable from beginning to end, but there might still be a couple things here and there that we'll notice that we'll want to patch up. But we have the weekly video done, credits are completed, the the final build has just been exported. We will be hosting that on the home team site, or the home team's itch page. We've done a gameplay test. We've verified that the players can start a new game, and every time you do start a new game, no leftover data is there, so it's a fresh start. Credits have been implemented. We double-checked the materials that they're unlit, so that all the art style is consistent. A lot of these bugs were covered in the update. I think the white box targeting in some cases can be a little bit buggy, and I think that has to do with collision layers and stuff like that. It's not a blocker or anything like that for the player, but a little bit of polish around that post-release is probably a good task. I think some of these these are more like quality of life things, making sure menus disappear when you when you switch to different merchants, that kind of stuff. And the game can get a little confused with merchants in multiple cities. Again, these aren't like real blockers for the players, progression to a win screen, but they're kind of nice to take a look at. There's some bugs around the tile states remaining hovered or unhovered. Again, these aren't blockers, but just little visual improvements. And yeah, so a lot of these are just kind of what we deemed minor visual or polish bugs, perfect for post-release, but nothing too game-breaking, if game-breaking at all. So that's it. We are closing out the project. Once again, thank you so much for everything that you've contributed, and I hope you had a fun time working on this game. I had a blast, and until next time, have a great day and a great week. Thank you.